Hello everybody and welcome back to Side Quest. I hope you're in the mood for Dark Souls, I guess. Sorry, I started that joke and didn't really have any destination in mind for it. Welcome back to Side Quest though. Hello. I apologize if I'm a little bit tired over the episodes of this week. Things have been very busy, both at work and with extra credits and everything, so things are busy. Anyhow, we're gonna play Dark Souls now though, which, I mean, can you think of a better way to relieve stress than to play a Souls game? Because I cannot. Anyhow, let's talk about what we are going to do today, because, as you well know, I defeated some Lothric princes and I have their little twin souls now, and I should return them to their thrones. But, as I understand it, doing so will begin to start me down the path toward the end of the base game. And there's a good bit more Dark Souls to take care of first, so we also need to go do some DLC, but I'm not gonna go run right into that either. There are a few lingering little tasks that have been kind of sitting behind me for a while as I've pressed on through Dark Souls that I should probably go at least check on. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna make a bunch of stops by some old places where I've heard rumor that there might be some things for me to find or do. And we are going to wrap up, hopefully, one NPC quest that I thought we were done with, but apparently aren't. And maybe start and conclude another one. And at the end of it all, we're gonna read a bunch of item descriptions because we're way behind on that. That's all the stuff we are gonna do today, and I don't know how long it's gonna take, but whenever I finish it, we will call that the episode. And then, starting Wednesday, we are off into the you know what it is, the downloadable content. Anyway, let's be off to the Firelink Shrine. All right, welcome home. So, first thing that I think I need to do here.
Brink with, is it not?
Yep, nothing new to say, that's fine. Well, let's spend a whole bunch of souls. I've leveled up a lot. I don't think I need more levels to take on the DLC. Why don't we just buy a whole crap ton of scales? Right? Let's just do that. Let's have a lot of those. That sounds kind of nice. Having a whole ton of these. Yeah, let's do it. Let's throw so many souls into scales. Why not? Out of curiosity, real quick, I also want to check and see, do you see anything different now that I accidentally gave you a book too fast?
Ah, hello again. Thank goodness. Yes. Yes. You require my sorceries, I presume?
Always. Guess I should actually save some souls to buy sorceries I won't use next time. I don't know, I'll buy some for fun. Why not? Nah, that seems neat. Deep protection, gotta have one of those. Dead again? I mean, please. I've died hundreds of times across this series. One more won't hurt.
There is one thing that you should know. There is a darkness.
Okay, you've said this before. Alright.
Do stay safe.
Will do. Now, the main reason I'm actually here is I want to check on a thing. From what I understand, Cirrus's quest line is not as completely done as I thought, and there's not a lot left to it. I just need to find, and I don't know if it's here or somewhere else, but it's like the gravestone of her uncle or something. There's a lot of graves outside. That's the first place I'm gonna check. Oh, you really do need a guide if you are going to finish any NPC quests in Dark Souls 3. Did any of you, I'm just curious, did any of you actually manage to finish any in your first playthrough without looking them up? Like, did any of you manage to completely accidentally complete any of these NPC quests? Because that seems like an achievement. Not of skill, of course, of pure luck, but still. Difficult. Alright, on initial glance, I am not seeing any, items or people to talk to out there in the graveyard, so I'm going to assume I don't have the right place. let's go to the other place that seems to have some significance to Cirrus, which is the Tree Pit, which I'm sure has a better actual name. Did I already do? Yeah, which I'm sure has a better actual name, but we're gonna check up on that. Pit of Hollows. I was close. I had one word right. Let's see if she's there. Aha! Well then. What have we here? This is where her... Oh, is it uncle or like grandfather or something? It was an older relative. The guy who ran this whole Mound Makers Covenant. Or at least introduced us to it. Is that her stuff? Or is that his stuff? Let us see. His stuff then. Alright. The Sunset Helm. Helm of Hodrick, Holy Knight of the Sunless Realms. This light gold helm, named for its sunset hues, is now faded and wrapped in tainted rags. The sorry fool was known to wander the battlefield as a crazed ghoul, lashing out at friend and foe alike. That is very Mound Maker of him. Okay. That's good and all, but this is where he died, but not where his grave is? Is that a... This is where his whole body pile is. Hang on, let's reload the area, see if anything different happens. And no. Well, maybe I had to do that first. Let's go back to the... let's go back to Firelink Shrine. Sorry, I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to go for this one. I may have to look it up. So, I feel like... Unless I broke this quest chain somehow, and it sounds like Dark Souls 3 quest lines can be a little bit finicky. At times. Which is, I guess, a little unfortunate. Either they're finicky or just the exact specifics on how to progress are a little difficult to pin down, and it's very easy to do things out of order in a way that'll break things. But, oh, wait. Oh, no, wait, you were always here, weren't you? You were that, oh, wait, hang on. This is two things. Oh, crap, I think that's her. Hang on. And... okay. Let's check up on these, but I have a feeling. The Sunless Talisman. A talisman given to the Knights of the Sunless Realms who serve the Nameless Moon. Scales with intelligence, which is rare for a miracle catalyst, but makes it compatible with the dark. In the Sunless Realms, this fact is related first as an initial warning. Interesting. Sunset Shield, shield of the Holy Knights of the Sunless Realms, engraved with a brilliant flame crest that burns brightly within the Order's customary sunset colors. This design symbolizes those who both harbor and oppose the power of flame. That's interesting. Huh. But, yeah, Sunless Realms, all that, I think this is her. That's a bummer. Man. Ugh. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that should conclude the Cirrus quest line. And it concludes as so many Dark Souls NPC quests do, unfortunately. But that does mean it's time to move on to our next thing. So I got a few stops, a few just random places to visit where I'm told there is something to find, where you folks have been saying in comments for quite some time that I should go back and check. So let's go back and check some places. All right, first stop. The place where we originally found Irina. Yeah, well, this one was a lot easier than I anticipated. Hello, who do we have here? Who? Oh, it's, oh, what's his name? What is his name? It's the guy who was guarding her. Like Morn? Or was that just the name of his gear? Oh, whatever. Okay, it was Morn, cool. Morn's Great Hammer and the Moaning Shield. I'll read those descriptions later. Actually, no, let's go ahead and check them now. Why not? Before I forget, just in case. Morn's Great Hammer. A great hammer bestowed upon Karim Knights which demonstrate outstanding strength and unwavering faith. Decorated by a warding charm of Karim Temple and imbued with the twisted rage of Apostle Morn. Huh, I didn't know Morn was an apostle. Morn must not be this guy's name. Like, maybe more than just the name of the gear set he wears. The Moaning Shield. A deformed great shield given to Igon, that was it, of Kareem, upon being conferred knighthood. The giant woman's face that protects Igon is that of his sister, some years his senior. Interesting. The skill is Moan. Offer a gentle prayer to the shield, causing the woman's face to give out a low moan and attract enemies. That's a weird but cool one. I like it. You know, as long as we're going around globetrotting, we might as well do some costume changes. Hey, check it out. I'm a Hodrick. Anyway. Next place! And welcome back to Farron Keep. We've got a place to ascend, but first, there's one thing I actually wanted to check real fast. Is this wolf alive? I don't think so. It's not breathing or moving or anything. It just, I don't know. Someone had said something at some point that gave me the impression that this wolf was actually a living, live wolf when I thought it was just a statue. And maybe it's just a dead wolf. I don't know. But, yeah, it does not seem to be an actual live one. I just wanted to check on that because I was confused. Anyhow, we need to go up this way, I think, if memory serves. It's been months. But it is my understanding that atop this bridge over the Farron Keep, there will be something to find. Where we defeated this demon before. Although there we are. I see a shiny thing. So odd that they hide these, like, that these items for me to pick up keep appearing in places I've been before after I go there. Okay. What's this doing all the way back here? Weird. Might as well read the rest of its stuff too. Dragon Tooth, created from an everlasting dragon tooth that will never break. Left by Havel himself along with his boulder-like great shield. Grants its wielder resistance to magic and fire. Havel's Great Shield, a tremendously solid and heavy great shield cut straight from a great slab of stone. Said to be a relic of the legendary Havel the Rock along with the Dragon Tooth. The shield is imbued with a special power reminiscent of Havel himself. Havel's Helm, armor as if hewn from a giant boulder, highly protective but excessively heavy. The warriors who followed Havel the Rock never flinched nor retreated from battle, crushing any foe that stood in their way. So I wonder if this was Havel or one of his, followers. Alright, well anyway, next place. And you know, while we're at it, next costume. Oh, this is fun. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes, there's an item right there. Boy, I can't even run anymore. I'm over 100%. All I can do is walk. What have we here, though? Oh, Archdeacon things. Let's see. Archdeacon White Crown. A white crown worn by an Archdeacon of the Cathedral of the Deep, presented solely to delegates of the gods. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one cast off his white crown and left the cathedral to stand by Aldrich. Oh. Neat, okay. Archdeacon Holy Garb. A sign of the Way of White's highest rank. Oh, so... this is what became of the Way of White, then. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one stood over Aldrich's casket, with hope that he would return one day. And Archdeacon's skirt, worn underneath Holy Garb. Of the Archdeacons of the Deep, one attended to Rosaria, Mother of Rebirth, whom he deemed a goddess. Very neat. And, turns out I already costume changed. You didn't even know it. Look how regal. Zombie Pope. Next place. Alright, and I believe somewhere in this vicinity there should be another item that was left by someone for some reason. I'm assuming that it's me completing quests or beating certain bosses or reaching certain points of progress in the game that's causing a lot of these items to later appear in these previously traversed areas, which is still very weird. I'm going the wrong way. Ahem. I still have no idea what Aceros is all about. That's gonna be some lore I am interested to read later. So... I was told there would be items down here. Anyone? Snake folk? Hello? Get out of here. Pope says no! Aha, I see one. I believe I have found it. And yes. Ooh, yes. Drake blood stuff. Let's check that out. Drake blood helm. Armor of the Drake blood knights, worshippers of the blood of dragons. The red cloth is said to symbolize their yearning for blood. Dragon worship has captured the hearts and minds of warriors across the lands for many ages. Perhaps such warriors are attracted to doctrines of few words. Oh yeah, looking good. Although... yeah, I think I might be over, No, I'm under 70. Fantastic, so I can actually use it. And it looks sharp, too. Boy, never looked better. Alright. Well, in that case, I believe I've made all of the little, one-stop item journeys that I, needed to, run off to. Now I need to go see about another quest line I've been ignoring up till now. And we are back in this most upsetting Cathedral of the Deep. I don't remember this fellow being here before. What do you say? Anything? No? Alright, well, if you just want to hang, that's fine. You, though. I kind of ran off without saying much last time, but, you're an interesting one. So a human or god-type woman holding this is weird monstrosity. So, what are you about? Sure. No harm in doing it now. Ask to join Covenant. Yeah, you guys seem exactly what I am about. Rosaria's fingers. Lovely. I've obtained proof of the Covenant. Cool. Oh, I could reallocate attributes. That's fun. I could alter appearance. Ah, it's neat that they've tied that stuff to Covenants now. Not gonna do either one, but I'm good. Kinda wanna read that description though. Rosaria's fingers. Sacred seal of Archdeacon Klimt, who served Rosaria, Mother of Rebirth. Oh, is that the Archdeacon who left Aldrich's service, or the Deacons of the Deep, to come up here? That's cool. Equipped to pledge oneself to the Rosaria's Fingers Covenant. Rosaria's fingers collect tongues in her name. Some do it to be reborn, others do it to help comfort their voiceless goddess. Yeah, if I had lost my voice, the first thing I would be asking my friends for is just tongues, as many as you can find. This makes sense. Alright, well, let's go talk to her, I guess. I think I have some of those pale tongues that I've just found around the world, so let's give one. I've got 3. Let's start with 1, though. No need to rush in. Allegiance deepened. Cool. Well. Are you talkable? No? No? Okay. Oh, wait. I don't remember you being here. What's the good word?
Ah. So, you've chosen to serve Rosaria after all. She will be pleased with me for finding her another finger. But be warned, my friend. Rosaria's fingers need only fetch tongues for their mistress. Otherwise, we are free, unchained. Like Yellowfinger, you can choose to believe that all fingers share camaraderie. But do not force your romance upon the rest of us.
Interesting, alright.
Rosaria's fingers need only fetch otherwise you are free, but do not.
Okay, well. So I've done that. I feel like something else is supposed to happen. Or, like, that was supposed to be given some direction. I hope I don't have to invade a bunch of people to move this along, but let's reload the area here. Wait, I don't think I rested to this yet. Did I even light it? Oh, wait, stop. I don't want to touch bloodstains, I want to sit at the bonfire. Can I not sit at this anymore? What's going on? I guess I haven't taken any damage or anything. Let's, see what this does. Yes, here we... Oh. That was fast. Kinda figured you'd be around longer, but, okay. Black Eye Orb. That's... Is that new? That might also have been in Dark Souls 1. Well, nice knowing you briefly. Guess let's read that description, huh? A black eye orb, arcane orb left on Rosaria's corpse. Have faith her soul can be retrieved by invading the world of her killer and returning victorious. The black eye is proof of vengeance, but often appears serene as it casts its gaze toward Irithyll. Toward Irithyll, eh? That might be my next destination. I'm just gonna look this up to save us all some time. So just see where I need to go next, because I don't see any reason to spend all day on this. So, one moment. Okay, I know what I have to do, and it is not at Irithyll, turns out. Glad I looked it up, otherwise that would have been quite the wild goose chase. Anyway, let's be heading to where I need to be heading to. And this is where I need to be heading to, turns out. Yes, we need to return here one more time, and we need to make our way up to... Oh, it's so cool, I know whose statue used to stand there now. It's neat. I need to be heading up here to... wait, up, haha, caught it. To Guinevere's room, apparently. For reasons not entirely understood to me. Well, alright then. All right then. Shall we be using an item, everyone? Let's do it. Invade the world of Rosaria's killer. Let's see who it is. I know of only one other person associated with this covenant, really, so it's a short list of suspects.
Well, never expected to see you here.
Uh-huh.
Felt sorry for the poor thing in all her festering glory. And now you want to ravage her soul as well. I sowed the seeds, I'll prune the mess.
Hey, buddy.
I, Leonard, swear so on my vows to the goddess.
Boy, you are a whole bunch of Bloodborne, aren't you? Whoa, now. Look at you with your spell swords. Oh, now. Ha ha!
No one will despoil her soul. Certainly no beast wrapped in human skin.
Look at you with your beast talk. Oh, now. That's a neat little spell attack, as is that. I'm gonna just hit you a few more times, if that's alright with you.
With her soul.
Get hit some more times.
Sick beast.
You know, I'd kill you, but I kinda wanna hear you keep saying things, so we'll just keep this going. I guess you're done.
Blessed Rosaria.
Well, goodbye. Ringfinger Leonhard. That was fun. Oh, we got her soul and his sword and mask. Rad, let's read those things. And what a very interesting looking soul she had too. very different. The soul of Rosaria, mother of rebirth, stolen by ring-fingered Leonhard. Return this to her extant corpse, and Mother Rosaria will spring back to life as if nothing had ever happened. That's neat, and also very Bloodborne again. This is very cool. We're going to go do that in a little bit. First, I want to check a thing that... Well, first I want to check the other things we got from him. Then I want to check one other thing. The Crescent Moon Sword. Ringfinger Leonhard's weapon of choice. A type of shuttle imbued with the power of the moon. Leonhard set out on a journey of rebirth, but decided instead to serve the goddess as a knight, and inherited this weapon. Interesting that there's moon imagery tied to her. Its moon is also a significant thing for Bloodborne, so... This whole Rosaria's thing seems like an enormous chain of Bloodborne references, and I am okay with that. Silver Mask of Ringfinger Leonhard. In his youth, Leonhard suffered grave burns to his entire body. His face in particular, which he hid beneath his mask, was terribly scalded. He abstained from restoring these injuries, even after becoming a Finger of Rosaria. Very neat. Okay. Our business here is concluded. The thing I want to check is actually going to require going back to Firelink Shrine, so let's go ahead and do that now. So long, Honorlando. Okay, what I want to check and see is... Assuming her soul can be turned into items, before we give them back, I'd love to see what the descriptions are.
Aha, thou returned.
I did, yeah. And... Anything? And aha! Yes! Bountiful Sunlight. A special miracle granted by the Princess of Sunlight. Princess of Sunlight. Gradually restores a large amount of HP for self and those in the vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, loved as both mother and wife, bestow their blessing on a great many warriors. She wasn't Rosaria's mother, was she? That would be kind of awesome. Did I already check the... No, I didn't. I didn't check yet. So let's also look for the Prince's Souls items in here. Yeah, Lothric's Holy Sword. Prince Lothric's straight sword, blessed by Emma with potent magic. Emma was the name of the old woman who was sitting in the dancer's room in Lothric, right? And if I remember right, she was their caretaker? Or like, yeah, something like that. Young Lothric was meant to be a champion and was expected to wield this platinum sword, but some things will remain distant dreams forever. Assume stands to imbue sword with sacred light and use strong attack to release light together with a great thrust of the sword. That's cool. Not a weapon quite for me, but very cool all the same. Lorien's Great Sword. Ultra Great Sword of Lorien, Prince Lothric's older brother, cast in smoldering molten steel and stained black. Before Lorien embraced his brother's curse, he was a knight who single-handedly slayed the demon prince, but the victory eternally scorched his sword with flame. Who was the demon prince? Who was the demon prince? Flame of Lorien, lunge forward to transform smolder into flame and follow with strong attack to launch flame across ground. Very cool. Curious about this demon prince thing. It's probably something obvious that I'm just not thinking about in this exact moment, but still. Alright, well, I know I could get a spell by turning her soul in here, but I'm much more interested to see about this whole revival thing, so let's give that a shot. Alright, we are back. And let us see what happens. Examine. Examine. Offer pale tongue. Well, I can still do that, I guess. Restore soul of Rosaria. Welcome back, weirdo. That was very cool. That was worth it. That was a cool thing. But I guess that's about it. I think that wraps up this quest chain, if I understand correctly. Glad I saw it. Glad I didn't just wrap up the game without seeing this whole weird little side thing. And, hey, we got the ability to reallocate stats if we want to, so that's fun. Anyhow, I think, now that we've finished running our errands, it is high time that we read a bunch of item descriptions as promised. Let's go do that. All right, here we go. Apologies if there are any items I end up skipping over here accidentally. I've collected a lot, and it's hard to remember exactly which ones I have read here and which ones I haven't, but I will do my best to be thorough. Here we go. Hidden Blessing. Holy water blessed by the Queen of Lothric. There's a grave in Lothric that sees no visitors, a dark place where rootless warriors rest. The Queen of Lothric alone cared to wish the poor souls good fortune. I am very curious who the Queen of Lothric is. You know, it's actually my guess, if I had to choose somebody, would be Guinevere, actually. Because she seems to be, like, various descriptions and things I've seen seem to suggest that she is the mother of at least some of the characters that I've run into in this. Probably the princes, and maybe Rosaria? And I thought I saw something that seemed to imply the dancer was born of royalty at some point too, so I don't know. I've seen several possible candidates there. Boy, I'm really antsy to get to this lore deep dive. I need to finish this DLC so I can do it. Blue Bug Pellet. The Boreal Valley is infested with moon bugs, meaning its ingredients are never far from hand for the Erythilian slaves who concoct this medicine. Infested with moon bugs. Didn't really notice any while I was there, but seems gross. Red Bug Pellets prepared in the Cathedral of the Deep by evangelists who dole them out to followers to ease their suffering when they burn. Hoo boy. Yellow Bug Pellet. The Grave Wardens of Karthus used these to repel a great sandworm. Glad... Oh, I did run into the sandworm. Or did I? I ran into a huge worm. Don't know if it was the same one. The worm tumbled into the catacombs and proceeded to dominate its new home in the smoldering lake. Took care of that problem. Black Bug Pellet. At all times, the Abyss Watchers of the Undead Legion keep a supply of these concoctions, prepared by the Acolytes. Rumor has it their Gru descendants still make these concoctions. Wait a minute. Who are the Acolytes? So are the Gru descendants of the Acolytes, and who are the Acolytes of the Abyss Watchers? There are some dots I have not connected here with them. I don't think I actually read this before. Purple Moss Clump. Poison can be exasperating, so be sure to carry sufficient moss clumps when traveling to a blighted area. I see what you did there. Purging Stone. An ash-colored stone encasing a skull. Reduces undead curse buildup and cures hollowing. Inhabitants of Londor, the Land of Hollows, use this secret treasure to feign normalcy. Occasionally, a hollow fools even himself and turns on his own kind. I think I've read that one before, but I don't know, I wanted to repeat it because it's cool. The Lightning Urn, a dragon hunting tool used by Lothric knights, explodes upon contact, inflicting lightning damage. The Knights of Lothric have since tamed dragons, but were once hunters of dragons themselves. This explains their special hunting gear, and why they worshipped the sun. A Dung Pie. Dried fecal waste material, moist on the inside. Of course. Throw at enemy to inflict toxin buildup, but also ups your own toxicity. Although the stench makes it difficult to carry on one's person, inflicting toxins on an enemy yields high damage over time. Perhaps some undead have fond memories of waste. Or perhaps not. But do they just not poop anymore? Dark Souls, you're being goofy. A Stalk Dung Pie. A dried fecal waste material marked by a long plant stalk that was not properly digested. Throw behind at enemies to inflict toxin buildup, but also build your own toxicity. Strictly speaking, this consists of different material than the dung pie, but waste is waste. No sense in splitting hairs. Dark Souls is funny now. Like, it's got a lot more of a sense of humor. Pale pine resin that faintly glimmers. Temporarily applies magic to right-hand weapon. The blood-red substance sometimes found within suggests there's more to this so-called resin than meets the eye. More Bloodborne reminiscent stuff, which is... It's interesting that there are, like... I feel like I'm seeing enough Bloodborne references in here that they are hinting at just the vaguest of connections between these worlds, which I don't have any interest in seeing these worlds connected. It's just, maybe it's nothing, but it just seems like a thing they're teasing at just to get you thinking that might be the case. There's been a few too many of these sort of references to not think that. A rusted coin, an old rusted copper coin. Crushing the coin boosts item discovery. Those who've lost their fortunes rely upon this superstitious practice, hoping to retrieve what was once theirs and more. A rusted gold coin. A rusty old gold coin that surely has no currency. Crushing the coin gives a large, if temporary, boost to item discovery. A rich man lost his fortune, but it returned to him twofold. He was swift to squander his retrieved fortune, smugly confident that it was bound to double once again. That's a good little short story right there. You know, I don't know if I read this one before, but this seems important. Human dregs, proof of a duty fulfilled by the Aldrich faithful, who patiently await the devourer of God's return. Dregs are the heaviest things within the human body and will sink to the lowest depths imaginable, where they become the shackles that bind this world. That just seemed like... Dregs seems just like the Dark Soul, or humanity, or maybe just like all that's left of humanity is now dregs. Would be an interesting thing too. Cinders of a lord left by Prince Lothric. If the lords will not return to their thrones themselves, let them return as cinders. The Lothric bloodline was obsessed with creating a worthy heir, and when this proved impossible, resorted to unspeakable means. Suffice it to say, the path to linking the fire is a cursed one indeed. A Grand Archives key, a key to the main entrance to the Grand Archives of Lothric. With the fire fading and the spreading pus of man tainting the castle, the Grand Archives closed its doors for good. Today, only a few of its keys remain. This one likely belonged to Gotthard, one of the king's black hands who fled the castle. A crystal scroll, a secret crystal scroll of the Grand Archives of Lothric. Give to a sorcerer to learn crystal sorceries. Oh, I should probably do that, huh? These sorceries are the work of the Pale Drake Seath the Scaleless, whom Logan is said to have met, a branch of sorcery that has been carried on by the Crystal Sages. Soul Stream, a sorcery imparted by the first of the scholars, when Lothric and the Grand Archives were but young. Fires a torrential volley of souls, that's cool. What do you have to do to be able to use that? Nope, not happening. Oh well. The first of the scholars doubted the linking of the fire, and was alleged to be a private mentor to the royal prince. Interesting. Profaned Flame. Pyromancy deriving from the profaned flame engulfs foes at range and burns them to ashes. The profaned capital was consumed by fire after Yorm the Giant became a Lord of Cinder. The fire, born of the sky, is said to have incinerated naught but human flesh. Interesting. Poison Mist. A unique pyromancy crafted by Ingi. I never actually figured out how to pronounce that guy's name. He's in Dark Souls 1. A heretic inhabiting the Great Swamp long ago. It creates a poison mist. I'm gonna go with Ingi, but I don't know. Ingi was driven from the Great Swamp. However, his pyromancy continues to succeed him. Perhaps dwellers of the Great Swamp were reminded that their very existence is one rooted in heresy. Toxic Mist. A unique pyromancy of Ingi that never gained currency in the Great Swamp. Creates an intense poison mist. Driven from the Great Swamp, they say that at the end of his journey, Ingi happened upon a virulent poison and a young lady. And indeed he did. Lightning Blade, a miracle allegedly wielded by a certain Dragon Slayer knight in the Age of Gods. Reinforces right weapon with lightning. Tales of Dragon Slayers are now a rare thing, told only in fragments and whispers in remote regions. Great Magic Barrier, the tale which was later interpreted as Magic Barrier. Greatly increases magic damage absorption by covering the body in a strong white protective coating. Said to be a tale of Havel the Rock, arch enemy of Seath the Scaleless. Havel despised magic and was never complacent in preparing means to counter it. Dead Again, a sacrilegious miracle of the Sable Church of Londor. Bless corpses, transforming them into traps. That's cool. Londor, the Hollow Realm, is a society of undead comprised of the corpses and shades of those who led unsavory lives. Is such a blessing really something one must ponder? Atonement, a miracle given to those cast out from the Sable Church of Londor, attracts more attention from foes. This is the only tale known by the exiles, who believe it carries words of forgiveness. Cursed journeys too must ultimately come to an end. Deep Protection, a miracle taught to inaugurated deacons by the Cathedral of the Deep. Slightly boosts attack, damage absorption, and resistance while also increasing stamina recovery speed. The Deep was originally a peaceful and sacred place, but became the final rest for many abhorrent things. This tale of the Deep offers protection for those who worship amidst those horrors. Chaos Blade, a cursed sword of unknown origin bearing uncanny streaks on its blade. Attacks also damage its wielder. The sword is not unlike a thing misshapen, granted life, but never welcome in this world. In other words, chaos itself. Crystal Chime, a sacred chime once the possession of Gertrude, the Heavenly Daughter, and defiled by the scholars of the Grand Archives. The power of crystals granted the scholars a degree of success. In this case, their work enabled this chime to be suitable for casting both miracles and sorceries. That is cool. Oh, and it's got a, HP recovery skill. That's very neat. Outrider Knight Helm. Armor of an Irithyll Outrider Knight, enveloped in a dimly cool air. The knights were given the eyes of the pontiff, but the eyes transformed them into savage, raving warriors who only knew how to serve as mindless guards. Pontiff sort of seemed like a jerk. You know, I don't think I read this before. Dragon Slayer Helm. Golden Lion Helm associated with Dragon Slayer Ornstein from the Age of Gods and imbued with the strength of lightning. In the Dragonless Age, this knight, who long guarded the ruined cathedral, left the land in search of the Nameless King. Alright then, this sort of answers some questions. So, he long guarded the ruined cathedral. Wait, okay, hang on. I wouldn't call the cathedral in Anorlando ruined, at least not when I was there. There was a ruined cathedral that he was guarding, though, in Dark Souls 2. And I did sort of suspect that that might be him. I could see this working. I could see this sort of fitting. So if my theory flows correctly, when Guinevere left, Ornstein maybe went with her. Guinevere built that city, the Hyde Kingdom, and Ornstein was there with her. He stayed guarding that ruined cathedral for a very long time and then left that land in search of the Nameless King. And don't know if he ever found him. But he's clearly not the Nameless King, so that clears that up. So the Nameless King is Gwen's firstborn, that's for sure. And Ornstein might have actually been real Ornstein in Dark Souls 2. That's also cool. I'm gonna go with that. That's what I want to believe. Until I see some very hard evidence otherwise. Smo's Helm. Grotesque armor associated with Smo, the last knight to stand in defense of the ruined cathedral. Heck, I guess that was the ruined cathedral then, huh? Darn. Well, there goes my theory. Well, no, my theory's still not gone. He did leave looking for the Nameless King. Maybe the cathedral in Hyde is a place that he wound up at some point. Whatever. You know, if he was going out looking for the Nameless King, going and tracing Guinevere's steps wouldn't be a bad first tack to take. Anyway, I'm just gonna read this one again. Wolf Knight Helm, helm of a knight tainted by the dark of the abyss. The twilight blue tassel is damp and will remain ever so. The vanquished knight left behind only wolf's blood and his legacy of duty. The undead legion of Farron was formed to bear his torch, and the armor of these Abyss Watchers suggests their own eventual end. The Exile Mask, iron mask of the watchdogs of Farron's Keep. After the Legion's Watchers became Lords of Cinder, the wolf blood dried up, and Farron was consumed by a festering wood. Within the wood, an emaciated old wolf commands watchdogs to defend the sanctity of sleeping warriors. Both the exiles were surely watchdogs themselves, for Farron has always been a land of itinerants. These are the two guys I ran into along the Road of Sacrifices, right? I think so. Painting Guardian Hood. Attire of the Painting Guardians, whose forms are described in the mythology of heretics. Ooh. A smooth, pale hood that deters magic. The hunchbacked teller of ancient tales describes unwanted souls who are unwelcome across the lands and are eventually drawn into a cold, painted world. Gonna be heading into another one of those soon. The Hood of Prayer. Prince Lothric's hood. The prince, destined to be a Lord of Cinder, was cherished by the royal family despite being born into illness, a frail and shriveled child. His swaddling clothes were made of aged, coarse cloth used in ancient prayer and are all that he has ever worn. It makes a little more sense now than it did when I first found this. Ring of the Sun's Firstborn who inherited the light of Gwyn, the First Lord. Greatly boosts miracles, so he did inherit Gwyn's light. The Sun's Firstborn was once a god of war until he was stripped of his stature as punishment for his foolishness. No wonder his very name has slipped from the annals of history. Oh, this is a thing worth bringing up. So, some of you have said in comments, and this kind of makes a lot of sense actually, that the original translation from Dark Souls 1, the description of the Firstborn of Gwyn, like losing or destroying or doing something to the annals and being punished for it was, like, that was a mistranslation. he was erased from the annals for his deeds, but it wasn't like losing or destroying the annals. Like, that's not what he was punished for. And it seemed to suggest that the thing he was punished for was defiance and siding with the dragons, which makes sense given where we eventually found him. And siding with the enemy of the royal family, who that original First Great War was fought against, would be the kind of thing that would get you in a lot of trouble. So that makes more sense, and I'm kind of happy to have that little bit of confusion cleared up. Okay, I think that does it for item descriptions, and thank goodness I just spent a long time doing that. Let's see if I can hand this crystal scroll to anybody. Do you want it?
Back again, I see.
I am.
Perfect timing, too. I'm in need of a diversion.
I can supply that. You want it? Here you go.
Unfathomable.
I know.
This is a crystal sorcery. Created by the Pale Dragon. Thought only to exist in legend. I am ever grateful to you. This is truly sublime. I am afraid this is a debt I cannot repay. Only, I will be sure to unravel it for you. Just a moment.
Excellent. Anything interesting in here? Homing Crystal Soul Mass. Sharpens homing soul mass via crystallization. Releases a homing crystal soul mass, which has piercing qualities. According to the Crystal Sages, old Big Hat achieved enlightenment within the Regal Archives, where he came to find the quintessence of sorcery in the facets of a certain crystal. Very cool. So just some new sorceries that have crystal strength and properties to them, which is very neat.
Promise to stay safe.
Will do. We're all done. We finished all the tasks. Hooray! Good job, everyone. Thank you all very much for watching today. Boy, this took a lot longer than I expected. But that's alright. We've finished up all those little loose ends, and now it is time for us to be going out and doing DLC things. I'm very, very excited. I will see you all Wednesday for that. Until then.